In early 2014, a group of Skyrim fans joined the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft for the first time. They quickly adapted to the climate of 2b2t by downloading hack clients and learning how to use the dupe at the time. Eventually their base was raided just like all of the bases on 2b2t. However, they did not quit like most new fags would. Instead, they built a new base and invited more friends than they did before. They kept growing in members and in size, and eventually they created a base known as Layton. Layton was one of the most populated bases on 2b2t at the time. The Imperials at this stage had no leaders or any form of structure, which was starting to worry the group. So Legatus was made Emperor of the Imperials, not long after Layton was destroyed. However, the Imperials never gave up. They made many new bases and monuments. That was the mythology of the Imperials. Now it's probably not 100% true, but some of it's based on facts. The Imperials in 2016, we know, in fact, had around 100 members. So the Imperials either sprung out of nowhere and just somehow got 100 members in a very short period of time, which is really hard for most groups to do, or the Imperials were on 2b2t and other 2b2t-like servers prior to 2016. Either way, it's still impressive. For some reason, the group stayed primarily unknown due to the members not seeking to do anything out of the ordinary, but instead just made bases and PvP sometimes. Imperials were not about making large projects, as some say the group as a whole was a large project. The project being to take over every 2b2t-like Minecraft server, to become the dominant faction on each of these servers, and to allow their citizens to become the most powerful players in game. But what I wanted to talk about was basically, in the entire Imperial history, the group was never noticed by the public until 2019. In this year, many relevant public figures on 2b2t and other 2b2t-like servers started to take notice of the Imperials, and this made the Imperials the ever more relevant. And by doing this, they got a lot of negative attention and generally got a bad reputation on all anarchy servers, such as 2b2t and 9b90. The Imperials are generally hated. Saying the term imps on top is, in some anarchy servers, is like bringing a Confederate flag to a Black Lives Matter protest. You get bashed for doing it. When you ask a lot of these anti-imperials why they hate the Imperials, they simply cannot answer you besides something such as, "Okay, imp." A lot of the anti-imperials hate the Imperials for no other reason than everyone else hating them. This is literally the definition of an NPC. They hate the Imperials because everyone else hates them. Now, there's probably a smaller percentage of the anti-imperials who can muster up reasoning for hating the Imperials, such as they LARP, or they're self-centered, or many other reasons. For the LARPing reason I can understand, since some players don't like having roles in a group. That's fine. They can like whatever they want. I don't have a problem with anti-imperials who can actually express why they hate the Imperials. My problem is with the anti-imperials who hate Imperials because everyone else hates them. Like they are sheep being led into the slaughter. One follows after the other since their natural instinct is to believe what everyone else believes in. This phenomenon is what leads to people into believing that Imperials are bad. Most anti-imperial NPCs have most likely clicked away from this video, since usually when they are confronted with the truth they'll resort to a fight or flight response. Now I know this is mostly true from personal experience, but I've gone in game to prove this point. Now for this to work, I don't actually need to go anywhere in game. In the words of Sato86,
don't blink because it happens really fast.
I also wanted to interview some random people I met on Discord who play anarchy servers, and see if they knew anything about the Imperials, and I'd get their thoughts on the group as well.
So, wait, before we do this, what is this interview about?
Alright, so, you guys know who the Imperials are, right?
Yes.
Yes. When I joined for the first time, I tried app applying for them, which is...
Shut up, law, no one asked.
Alright, keep going.
Big funny moment.
So like, with the imps, like, what are your thoughts on them?
To be fair,
it's
no,
mostly
shut up.
just a
okay.
Imps don't just.
no, you shut up.
Mate,
Shut up.
No,
Let
shut up.
let one of you speak.
Alright,
Assuming they actually did, which I don't remember.
I did actually see a few of those posts. I just left very mean comments.
I just downvoted all the.
Oh my god, it's a real Redditor.
Yeah, I left very mean comments and downvoted them on like several alts.
Based.
I think someone or something should try and just grab the Imperials, the ones at docks, right? Just like call their parents or something and be like, "Hey, this isn't right."
What do you guys think on like the CP stuff with imps? Like, you know how David Pran and myself were both accused of having CP, and the imps kind of like were a part of that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean,
I think
if that is what's happening, like people actually have that kind of stuff on their computers, you know, that's very bad. Then just
I think if a person stays with their friend, even though they're accused of like horrible things such as pedophilia, that's really stupid. Even if they're not actual friends, just Imperial friends, that's still really retarded.
But my question to you is, do you think that they have like CP on their computers, the imps?
I think some of them might, mainly the higher up ones, because there's some proof against some of them. You know.
Like what kind of proof could you like show me? I'm kind of getting stuff from that. So any would be good.
Well, see, I've seen proof. I just don't have it. But yeah. I've seen. I don't know. It's just strange that a lot of people. How do I explain this? That it seems like it's not just a joke or someone trying to slander someone.
Yeah.
It seems more legit.
People saying it for it not to be true.
Yeah, so it's either a really good lie or it's just slander.
These people, if you didn't notice, don't know anything about the Imperials. They just knew that everyone else hates them. In most people's reasoning, if they hate someone, they should hate them too. So these people just make accusations of the Imperials and say that they're true only because everyone else says they're true. This logic is what the majority of the anarchy community use. If you're watching this video, you're a 1 out of 1,000, because most people in the anarchy community will genuinely believe these claims. I mean, why wouldn't you? The community prior to this YouTube channel had no way of getting opinions from the other side. In fact, most news came from Discord servers or other news groups which are basically puppets for well-known players that they create good pictures of themselves for the community. But that's for another video. Anyway, I don't blame these players for their NPC behaviour. They basically had no other choice of news to see, and they have relied on word of mouth and other biased news sources. Anti-imperials don't give reasons for why they hate the Imperials. They can't. They barely know anything about the group, since they refuse to have anything to do with them, because of rumours they heard from someone who also doesn't know anything about the group. Imperial haters are like a virus. It's passed on from one person to many other people and continues to grow. I'm not in the Imperials myself, but when I was in the Imperials, I got a lot of hate for really no reason. Now, some anti-imps can muster up some reasons for hating Imperials. These Imperial haters usually have experience with Imperials and dislike the group for their own personal reasons, and that's why they can muster up a response. One of the most common reasons people hate the Imperials is because they laugh. They hate the Imperials because they laugh about Romans, like their ranks in the Imperials such as Legate, Auxiliary, Centurion, etc., which in all fairness does sound indeed a bit larpish. But let's compare this to other groups. I'll take a group known as Imperium. Now they have 3 progress ranks in the group called Gamma, Zeta, and Delta. These ranks are not LARP, but they don't even sound like ranks for a group. Gamma, Zeta, and Delta sound very weird for ranks in a block game group, and morally sound like letters of the Greek alphabet. It's the equivalent of saying A, B, and C is your ranks. Yeah, not very creative. Personally, I'd rather have a cool name such as Legate or Centurion than being named after a character in a foreign language. Another common hatred towards the Imperials is they grief. Yes, the Imperials do grief, but it is always targeted to people who hate the Imperials in the first place. Even if the Imperials did grief random bases for no reason, there wouldn't be any reason to hate them because almost every group does this. Anyway, now this is a conspiracy that people still genuinely believe. That the Imperials have an underground CP ring. Yes, people actually believe this, I'm not joking. Without any evidence or hint that the Imperials have a CP, people have started believing that the Imperials truly have a CP ring, where the high ranks of the Imperials trade CP. This is probably the largest conspiracy of the Imperials, but a lot of the prominent players genuinely believe this. This rumor was started because at the time of the Sato Pedalapa video, I was saying that the video wasn't made to target me, but instead the Imperials, which I proved a week ago due to the leaked chats. But people can just make the excuse that I faked several thousand lines of Discord chats. So anti-imperials can be divided into 3 categories. Number 1, the NPC anti-imp. These people don't have a mind of their own, and are basically sheep of 2B2T. Number 2, the emotional anti-imp. These people hate the Imperials since they have been hurt by them. And number 3, the conspiracy anti-imp. These people like the idea that the Imperials are hiding many things in a block game. So basically anti-imperialism is bad and a waste of time. This probably relates to several other players and groups, which is why I wanted to make this video. Hopefully this video managed to change your minds about the Imperials, if you did previously hate them. Thanks for watching the Oldfag review. I'll be doing the 2B2T news and 9B19 news videos soon this week. So if you have any news to contribute, please join my Discord server in the description and tell me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.